Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
The first annual Southeast Iowa Anglers Club Banquet is this Saturday, September 27th at the National Guard Armory at 2660 Highway 63, Oskaloosa. Doors open to the public at 4 p.m. The meal begins at 6 p.m. There will be games, door prizes, raffles, and the auction will follow. Southeast Iowa Anglers Club is dedicated to the conservation of fish habitat in local lakes and ponds in the effort to educate youth and adults on fish species, fishing equipment, and techniques. For more information, look up Southeast Iowa Anglers Club on Facebook.
Attention Iowa business owners. Is your business missing sales because you're too busy to follow up? Every missed call or delayed message could be costing you money. At Easy Biz Tech, we help local businesses stay ahead by automating customer follow-up, so no lead gets left behind. Missed a call? Our system texts back instantly. Need personalized outreach? We send automated texts, emails, and even use AI-powered voice agents to connect with your customers 24/7. Stop losing money because of slow follow-up. Contact Easy Biz Tech today, where Iowa businesses win online.
The first annual Southeast Iowa Anglers Club Banquet is this Saturday, September 27th at the National Guard Armory at 2660 Highway 63, Oskaloosa. Doors open to the public at 4 p.m. The meal begins at 6 p.m. There will be games, door prizes, raffles, and the auction will follow. Southeast Iowa Anglers Club is dedicated to the conservation of fish habitat in local lakes and ponds in the effort to educate youth and adults on fish species, fishing equipment, and techniques. For more information, look up Southeast Iowa Anglers Club on Facebook. Steve Shuttler Media once again proudly presents Pekin High School football live video streams each Friday night this fall with home and away games and the playoffs. Tune in Friday nights for Pekin High School football right here on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, and YouTube. All right, and welcome into the sports section. We are live from Barnwired in Sigourney at 119 East Marion Street. You can stop in here. It's going to be a busy day for Barnwired. They've got rural road trip going on through the area today, and it's going to be a beautiful day here in Southeast Iowa. So stop in for some coffee and breakfast and get going on a Saturday. We're going to get going here on the sports section. As you can see, we're, as always, during the fall season, kicking things off with Pekin football, coming off a big win last night. Andy McGuire is our host. Andy, take it away.
All right, we're going to dub this one the Dirty Jobs edition because we have men that do work with us. Finally, you've brought in the lineman, Coach Weber. Big win last night, 52-8 against Van Buren. Tell me about the successes you were having.
Yeah, it was a challenging week with homecoming, and it was finally good to get to the game. Coaches always say it's just challenging to work around all the things that are going on all week, and I think we even had some yawns throughout the week that I was just a little nervous to make sure our kids could get to bed on Thursday and be as well rested as they could be for Friday's game. But we did come off pretty hot and had a few wavy points, but overall, we were able to put together a big win last night.
Yeah, so 2 weeks off. You missed out on what would have been the Highland game, right? Because they unfortunately have had a lot of injuries and really can't field a team at this point responsibly. Did that 2 weeks really affect things? I know you mentioned some yawns here, but how did you feel the preparation was coming into homecoming week?
Well, it was challenging to have a whole week off. First time in 17 years of coaching I had to deal with something like that. But we trimmed practice down a little bit and tried to go a little bit shorter, but water things down just to be very specific on the things that we were doing. We didn't try to pack the practice schedule just full of a ton of things, but the things that we needed to work on the most. So it was nice, and then they got Friday off, and then I think that really mentally refreshed us to go into this week, which was homecoming, and a week off from playing a game. So overall, I think it wasn't a bad thing.
So let's introduce these linemen, right? You guys aren't safeties. You guys aren't cornerbacks. You guys aren't tailbacks, stuff like that, right? So let's start it up, guys. Tell us who you are, what position you play, and maybe who your parents are.
I am Hudson Deitch. I am a offensive guard and defensive tackle. My parents are Aaron and Sarah Deitch.
Tell them who your dad is. What's his job?
He's the elementary principal at the school, so it's kind of cool, but, you got to kind of be on good behavior, too, so.
I'm Branton Searon, and I play right tackle, and I don't play very much defense at all. I mean, you got to talk to this guy if you want me to play defense, but I'm Jeremy and Ashley's son.
And what about your sister? Don't leave out.
My sister's the manager for the team, Aaliyah Searon. She just fills waters and kind of does the nitty-gritty stuff for the team. Kind of helps everyone out.
All right, guys, so homecoming week, did you guys participate in the festivities?
Yeah, 95% of the team was out teeping till like about 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning, just about every night of homecoming. So,
I mean, we went out. I was responsible with it. I only went out Monday and Wednesday and stayed out of trouble. I mean, didn't want to go out Tuesday and get too tired for it. And so I was in bed by a decent time. I mean, it wasn't after midnight.
It looks like it's effective, Coach, because these guys are saying all the right things. You've got the son of a principal. These guys are only staying out until 2 in the morning on homecoming week TPing, and that is hence a couple of yawns going on here. But you guys had some really good success and have been having good success. Hudson, what has been the thing that Pekin's been able to do this year to keep the ball rolling?
Honestly, our energy and come out the gate swinging. That's a big part of it because we had a couple games early on that we weren't mentally there until about the second quarter, and that's when we started coming back and making things happen.
Branton, I actually got to see you guys, and I was watching on Steve Shetler Media last night, but I just couldn't believe how big some of you guys are. And you're sitting down there at the bottom of this roster and with size, and there's another kid, Jonah Breon. As soon as I clicked on, I saw Jonah and I saw you, and I'm like, man, Branton Searon and Jonah, these are some big boys. What do you guys do in the weight room? What's the diet to get you guys bulked up so you can road grade some of these good other teams?
A lot of eggs, steak. I mean, Jonah just eats a lot, like all the time. And, I mean, we're in the weight room every day, constantly, just working, doing exercises and kind of the works that he gives us to do. And I feel like that's just a great thing for the program is to do strength and conditioning. That kind of got us big. It was very good for the program to have that, though.
Good answer.
Yeah, right. And that's gonna be some questions I'm gonna talk to Coach Jensen about later on in building the program. But Coach, that's a good question. When you took over at Pekin, there had been a couple of rough seasons, and Sigourney Keota played the Wise of Muscatine the other night. They've had some rough seasons. What do you do when you inherit a program, when you take over a program, and you're really kind of needing to scratch and claw and find something to grasp onto to build back?
Yeah, honestly, these kids know if someone starts complaining, I think we've made like 3 shirts in the last 4 years that say no excuses on them. So even if you're right and you have a reason to defend yourself, just shut your mouth and get to work. And I don't mean to be too blunt, but they know that. And sometimes it's just don't waste energy on making an excuse, but get yourself to work and find a way. Find a way to make things happen. And he's right. We're out there every day, and doesn't mean we're maxing out or like working to our absolute maximum extent every day, but we're always doing something to improve our physical status. So, that's a big part. And, it's funny you said they eat a lot because I think Jonah and Branton could probably lay a pig on the table and eat it themselves if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't throw Huddy out of the mix too. He might be smaller, but he can eat too.
Am I hearing an eating contest at some point in this peak in football season?
Not till the season's over.
Right. Well, maybe that could be a post-playoff celebration, and we can videotape that live from Steve Shetler Media and see who can knock down the most here. Get the old 96er going and get you a T-shirt and see what happens. So anyway, back to the game. You guys were having all kinds of success offensively. 52 points put up. Nolan Glick with, I think, 6 total touchdowns. His stat line's not going to fall off for missing that 1 week with last night, but I can only imagine what it looked like if he did have that Highland game. Guys, what are you doing? How do you train to get set up to open these holes up for these guys to run through like that?
I think we just do a lot of, looks. We look at the fronts and stuff, and when we get there, we know what we're supposed to be doing already, and, the sled. The sled is a big thing. Just driving the sled a lot.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is the preparation so watching film and all the alignments and the jobs of everyone you're facing. That is a very crucial part, I believe, especially for me because I'm 160 pounds, and so I got to know exactly what they're doing, when they're doing it, and what all could they do, and that's a very big part of it is the preparation leading to Friday night. A lot of teams, they just go out there and they play football. We truly train for it. So
yeah. That's a great point, Hudson, and that's why I'm kind of prompting this because, of course, on this show, a lot of people want to hear from that Nolan Glicks. They want to hear from Riley Smith. They want to hear from those guys, but there's so many positions on the football field that everybody needs to understand that, in my opinion. And when we talk about linemen, that's where games are won and lost, and it's cliche, but it's true. And so, this opportunity is to tell some of these young people, how do you train? What is the technique? How is that? Those intricacies of the game that make the difference. You're 160 pounds, Hudson. You just told us that, right? But you can still be effective even as a quote-unquote small guy. I mean, 160, that's not even 180, 185, which some of these corners are. What type of mentality do you take with you out there to push some of these bigger guys around?
A lot of it is just go as low as you can and as hard as you can because, like Moses taught us, the hips are their weakness. Their knees are even weaker. So.
Pull a pad in the hip doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't. Or in the knee. Yeah. All right. So anyway, 52-8. They were moving the ball on you last night, was Van Buren, a couple of different drives, and they actually scored in the first half. If you look at that score, you think, well, maybe that 8 points come at the tail end of the game when you had your third or fourth line in, but it wasn't the third or fourth line. Coach, what did you see last night that maybe you need to clean up that was maybe a good thing as far as having a couple of weeks off? They moved the ball on you a little bit, and now you need to tighten up.
Most of their sophomores that played last night when they were in 8th grade 2 years ago, they beat our junior high team, and I remember the lefty running around and making plays. So their quarterback's solid, their O-line's physical, and they had some good zone beating routes. So we sat in zone too long last night in the pass game, and we tried to weather the storm in zone, and they were still getting under it. So we made a couple halftime adjustments on zone coverage that fixed it. But we also rolled to a lot more man in the second quarter, and then we were able to slow it down. But yeah. Hats off to them. They moved the ball well there for a couple drives and even got behind us once and then, got in the end zone. So, just new challenges every week. And I knew they were going to be able to throw the ball, and they had to because we bottled their run up pretty good. So, fortunately a good offense is also a counter to after we get it back. The SK people back there are going to like this, but we hit 432 for a 95-yard run last night. So I think we ran sweep 9 or 10 times in the first 15 or 16 minutes and got their D just flying with it, and then come back with Henry on. He might lead the state in yards per carry because he had one carry for 95 yards. So that was a cool deal last night.
Yeah, not a bad average. Okay, so we wrap up Van Buren last night. Who do we have coming up next week?
We have our second non-district game with North Mahaska, so in a way a different challenge. We know they've seen probably a stiffer schedule in some ways than we have, and they have some size and physicality as too. So and they've won so it's not like they've been beat every time, but they're in a tough district too. So we know we're going to get their best, and I guess we're looking forward to the challenge.
North Mahaska quality team. Is there anything specific for the North Mahaska Warhawks that you're going to have to scheme for, prepare for, or are you just going to go out and play Pekin football?
Well, I mean, we'll do that, but we'll also, I've learned over the years of coaching, we got to make sure we got to stop the run game first. I know they can do both, but if we only focus on defending their pass, they're going to run all over us. And most teams that are smart will start out running the ball. And as long as we'll throw in a little different. I think we've been pretty plain the first 5 games that we may have to throw a few wrinkles in, try and surprise them a little bit, whether it's on defense or offense or special teams. So stick to who we are, but also, I like to be dynamic and changing a little bit over the course of the season. So specifically, I don't know how much I have for you on that, but we'll be ourselves, and we'll try to show them something that might be a little surprise.
There you go. Yeah, and I saw some of that last night. I was watching SK the other night, Thursday night, and I think I saw some different looks, and I just sitting there thinking, how much of this do we show now? What is the timing? Do you concern yourself with that as a coach, that you don't want to tip your hand a little bit too much maybe?
Back and forth every year on that. Sometimes I'm like, we're not holding back, and we're going to go right after it. It kind of depends how the year is going, too. Mm-hmm. If you're struggling, you may have to, switch some things up. If you can call whatever you want, sometimes you forget to throw in those wrinkles. So I think our schedule is kind of a bell curve, and it climbs every week now. We're going to get teams best, and we got some tough ones coming up. So this year you might say we've had a few blowout wins that we've probably been kind of vanilla. So maybe there'll be wrinkles coming, but it just depends how well our kids can execute.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you being honest about that one, because I've thought about it too. If you don't run it, you're not prepared for it. You don't know how it runs. But if you show it, then everybody can scheme for it. So anyway, it's good coach discussion. The X's and O's. All right, guys. So let's get to know you guys a little bit better. Since this is the Dirty Jobs edition, and we do got to get you guys bulked up. What's the favorite meal? If you had to pick a meal, either pre-game to get you revved up for it, or post-game to reward yourself because you guys keep, like I say, road grading these guys over, is there a specific meal that you're asking Coach Weber to bring you, or that you're asking Mom or Grandma to cook for you?
My favorite thing to do, like Thursday night, even though we have a meal, is go to Tex-Mex and get the great big burrito, the Texano special or whatever it is. And it's like the whole size of the plate, and it's usually pretty gone pretty fast. So.
The Texano special.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. Brandon, how about yours?
I'm thinking like we had chicken bacon ranch pasta the other night, or it might have been just chicken Alfredo. We had chicken bacon ranch at school, but that was good. And that's every time we see that, I'm like, yeah, that's my favorite there. Get excited about that one.
Fourth visit on
X4 times the chicken something, right? Bacon ranch or Alfredo, who cares? Just get in my belly. Coach Weber, what's yours?
This sounds pretty cliche, but like mac and cheese is my favorite meal, isn't it, Breck? Okay. It's got it there. I'm all about the different versions of it, though, But, yeah, even the school's mac and cheese is solid. So, I don't really have that before a game, though, or I wouldn't walk around very quick sideline. But, yeah, I'm with Hudson, though. Tex-Mex in Fairfield, if you've never been there, that's the place to go. So if I could get down there after a game, I would, but a little bit late.
Yeah. Well, if anybody watches this show and knows me, I love talking about linemen and giving shout-out to you guys, and I love giving shout-outs to support staff. So there was one we haven't done yet. Shout-out to the school cooks for loading these guys up and I'm getting them ready. So appreciate those efforts. Coach, is there anything else you want to talk about as we wrap up homecoming week and we move next week into the next one?
No, I just feel bad for Ashley having to feed this kid. He probably makes 4 visits to the stove, I'm guessing. But great parents, I've said it. Coach Jensen said it for years. The only reason a program really goes is because of solid parent support systems, and we got great parents, and they're with us through the thick and thin because we've been in the thick a few years ago, and now things are going well. So I'm just thankful for a supportive community.
Amen, brother. Yeah. And I'm sure Mama Siren doesn't mind feeding this guy. I know I don't mind feeding my kids and the Deitches as well. So thanks for being on, fellas. Great to see you, and I'm rooting for you.
Hey, before you go anywhere, Coach Weber, I wanted to get your thoughts. I know I came down and did the homecoming parade on Wednesday. Just maybe give a brief synopsis on how the parade and the pep rally went.
Yeah, Dave Seidel, who's, born in the early 40s, he'll tell you that. He's like, I haven't seen the Hedrick Gym that packed since 1973, and he had the exact date and who they played and where it was. But it was, the community showed up for it, and someone said the parade was bigger than the Barbecue Days parade, which was, it's just a testament to the fall feel, the support of the school system. And then, we had a food truck that sold out, and the coffee truck probably almost sold out. And, we just had a lot of people there. The parade went for, almost 40 minutes. And then, we had the coronation King Queen thing inside where the gym was packed, and we had a little rally afterwards outside. So I know it felt, I don't know, there was a lot of people out there at the end. So that's just pretty cool to everybody get behind the same thing when, we get caught up in all the arguments of society and this and that. So it was just cool to everybody kind of be there for the same reason the other night. So thanks for streaming it. Give a shout out to Sherry Westendorf for her Chevy Nova burnout. That was pretty good. So I know you guys enjoyed that.
Yes, for sure. Before we get out of here for the Pekin segment, we'll bring up on the screen right now our Daisy Dew Landscaping Player of the Game from last night. Of course, it was Nolan Glick. You can't deny him for having a huge game last night. So congratulations to Nolan. All right, let's hear from some of our sponsors and be back with some more right after this.
At Pekin Community Schools, opportunity isn't limited. It's everywhere. From FFA to music, business to athletics, our students explore it all. Small class sizes mean big advantages. Personal attention, strong relationships, and academic success that goes above and beyond. You're more than a student. You're a story, a voice, a vital part of our school family. From the classroom to the kitchen, every adult helps shape futures. At Pekin, pride runs deep, where everybody is somebody.
Schedule your next dental appointment with Dr. Dan Schuster at Oski Dental, 641-673-4845. They're accepting new patients. Oski Dental will file all of your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta dental provider. And Oski Dental is located at 902 South 17th Street in Oskaloosa. That's Oski Dental, 641-673-4845. We make smiles happen at Oski Dental. Stop by James Family Greenhouse and Produce in Sigourney. They have a variety of hanging baskets, annuals, shrubs, perennials, trees, mulch, and vegetable plants. Plus, you can spruce up your landscape with yard decor or decorate the inside of your home with home decor. James Family Greenhouse is also a great place to stop in for some gift ideas. You gotta stop in and see it all for yourself. James Family Greenhouse at 701 East Jackson in Sigourney. And be sure to follow their page on Facebook.
Looking for more than just a job? Find a career where you make a difference right in your community.
What I appreciate about First Resources is our dedication to innovation, always looking for ways to expand programming and offer greater opportunities for our staff and everyone involved.
First Resources staff are amazing. They're committed and they are motivated and they are fierce advocates to help clients meet their goals.
If you're ready to join a team committed to making a difference, apply online and join us at First Resources.
Build it together. Build it with Valley Lumber.
Are you building a new house or maybe wanting to do a remodel? Come check out our showroom at Valley Lumber and Hardware's Eddyville location. Cook kitchen cabinets, masonite interior doors, and more. Not sure what you want? Let us help with the design and layout of your new kitchen or remodel. At Valley Lumber and Hardware, we can help with any room in the house. From lumber for building to shower enclosures, paint, and more. Choose Valley Lumber and Hardware with locations in Eddyville and Albia.
All right, we are back here at Barnwired in downtown Sigourney for the sports section, and we are live here every Saturday morning starting at 8 a.m. And let's see here, we thank Pekin Football for coming in for our first segment as always. And segment 2, we've got Andy McGuire with a whole bunch of Cobras hanging out with us. Andy, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, Snake Pit 2.0, also known as Cobra Mafia. Look at this motley crew. Coach, who did you bring with you today?
Coach Ez. I got Jaden Jensen right here. He's our spin back. I got Silas Pappas. He's our tailback. I got Berkeley Moore. She's spin back, tailback, wing back, and an animal on defense. We got Devin Foster here, who's a tackle both ways on offense and defense, and Coach Hahn and myself.
I thought maybe this guy in the middle in the back was the center or something. No? Not the snapper. All right. So we've got yeah, Devin does. Good man, Devin. This is the lineman issue. You guys are going to have to take a minute because I'm going to start with Devin. Devin, 8th grader, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell me how the season's going, Devin.
Well, we're starting off 3-0, which is honestly really good for the team. But honestly, job's not finished, so we got to keep it moving. We got to keep playing well. And honestly, we got to play our football, not the other teams.
I see why you're the captain. That's very clear as to why you're the captain, right, Jaden Jensen?
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah.
Tell me why he's the captain.
Very vocal. Just very vocal.
Very vocal. Gotta love it. So you saw the other 2 linemen here from Pekin. Have you ever seen Devin eat?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Is it impressive?
It's all right.
It's all right. I'm putting Jaden on the spot here talking about Devin eating. So 3-0 is the 8th graders. Berkeley, how's the 7th grade team doing?
We are also 3-0, and we're working together as a team. So.
All right. Who have you guys played so far?
We have played South Tama, which we've never played before, and we won. We've played Palo Christian and Washington, and we won all 3 of our games.
All right, let's throw this over to Silas so we can keep the microphone moving here. Silas, tell me, has the 8th grade team played the same teams as the 7th grade?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys go together, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but it's 2 separate groups, right? 8th grade, 7th grade.
Yeah.
So you guys all stay together. There's no commingling as 7th and 8th graders.
No.
All right. So who do you think the toughest opponent has been so far, and why?
Palo Christian, because they just have a bunch of big players, and they're pretty good at football and everything. They got way better from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're playing tailback this year, right?
Yep.
So when you walk in, I put you maybe in that category as Devin back here as one of the big, strong dudes, but you need to have big, strong dudes in the backfield. And when I say dudes, that's a non-binary term. I don't want to get canceled on Steve Shetler Media, especially having Berkeley on here too. But it doesn't matter. You all are football players, and Silas, you passed the eye test as a lineman. But that's got to be kind of a dream to hit that hole and mow people over. Is that your MO? Do you put the hurt on guys when they try and step up and tackle you?
Yes. Yep.
There was a little snicker there, Jaden. You watch this, right? Can you attest to Silas and some of the damage he can do as a tailback?
Yeah. When he hits that hole, it's hard and fast.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
So I'm going to just dub this right now. I think you have the social skills of your mother and maybe not your father. Not that Mindy can't talk, but I just give Dad a question and he can run with it for a minute, and I love that about him. It's one of my favorite qualities that he has. But one of my favorite qualities about you is you know how to play sports, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And you're the spin back, right?
Yep.
So are you the one that likes to run it? Do you like to throw it, or do you like to hand the ball off? What's your preference on all 3 of those things?
My favorite thing to do is probably run the ball, but I'm fine handing it off and letting Silas go make a play.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, I'm going to throw this back to Coach, to the coaches back here. Tell me the feel of these 2 teams, right? You guys have coached for a long time. Coach Sellers, how long have you been coaching?
So I started in 2000, and then I coached. I went to junior high in 2011. But yeah, as far as the 2 teams go, pretty identical. As far as skill guys, linemen, they're both tough teams and good kids, which we've been blessed, in the past too. But a really group of good kids this year. So, and don't let Berkeley fool you. She's tough. She's I one of my favorite memories here already this year was when we were at Washington and Berkeley takes off for a 65-yard touchdown, and I looked right at the chain gang when I was running by and was like, "Who says girls can't play football?" And but no, these three are all good kids.
Oh, absolutely. No, I will attest to that. I coached Berkeley last year in 5-6 YSF, and one of the things I loved about Berkeley more is when I looked in that helmet and I said, "This is the play I want, this is what I need," it was a nod, and it went, and there was no question that it was going to happen. So you have to have that in your spin back, right, Jaden?
Yep.
You provide that back to these guys. If they ask you for something, do you go get it for them?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right, Coach Hahn, how many years have you been at this racket? You want to grab the mic from Devin?
This is my 12th season, I believe. I don't know. They just kind of all run together. So I think it's 12 or 13, something like that.
All right, and you guys are kind of the Lloyd and Harry of Sigourney. I see you guys all over the place, maybe as ketchup and mustard and dressed up and all kinds of fun. You guys have fun with this, and that's one of the keys, right, is having fun with your kids?
It's funny you said that. Coach Seller's birthday's today. He's 55 now. And I told my wife this morning when we were talking about it, I was like, me and Alan have been friends for 50 years. We met the first day of kindergarten on a school bus.
Yeah, it's one of those neat things. You know, you guys do so much for the community, whether it's, you know, youth sports, coaching, getting involved in interviews like this, hosting things like this. I mean, when I talk to other people about SK success, part of the discussion always revolves around what you guys do for this community. And Coach Weber was right. It comes back to the parents, too, but you can't have the support. I want to start with Jaden on this question. Talk to me about Coach Sellers and Coach Hahn and Coach Stout and the rest of the coaches on this group. What do these guys do to motivate you? And maybe it's an unfair question. Let me help you out. You know, maybe it isn't so much what do they do to motivate you, but what kind of coaches are these guys? Do these guys like to yell at you? Do they kind of build you up?
They definitely build you up.
Okay. And practice is fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite drill at practice?
Even though we haven't ran it yet this year, it's Davis County.
The Davis County drill, all right. Size, same question. Is there something you guys have done this year that you really enjoyed, maybe compared to, you know, earlier sports that you've played, as far as preparation goes?
Wait, so for like what we do in practice?
Right. Yeah. If you're in practice and you're like, "Gosh, I really want to do this."
I don't know.
So, like the younger kids that I coach, one of their favorite things is pass ball. At the end of practice, sometimes we do that.
Yeah. Or probably the tackling dummy.
Tackling dummy.
The
there
tripod.
We go. Yeah, that's fun. I've heard that.
Yeah.
You guys, is that a new thing you guys brought in this year? You have to hit it right, correct?
Yeah, Coach Jensen and Cobra Club got us one this year, and we brought it out, not thinking, okay, we'll use this. Kids absolutely love it, and they killed the thing.
Oh, that's great.
I'm afraid Devin's going to break it one of these times.
Tell me about that, Devin. Do you do you have siblings, brother,
I'm
sister?
the only child.
Only child, so you can't put your brother or sister's face on this thing and unload on it.
No, but I could put my dad's.
Your dad? Oh boy. What does Dad do? Maybe I shouldn't ask that question. I can't ask. I don't want to turn this into, Sheller's going, don't do that, Andy. All right, never mind. Let's get back to that favorite meal. Devin, what do you like to eat?
Honestly, everything.
Everything. And I'm sure Dad can attest to that, right, Dad? Yeah, they're both over here nodding like, yeah, we're going to go to Brothers Market and load up after this. All right, Berkeley, how about that? I'm going to talk to Devin about eating. What do you eat to get ready for a game?
I mean, anything that can really fuel me up and get me going, I guess.
Yeah. And I do know that you have siblings, right? And you have a brother and a sister, and they are competitive, correct?
Yep.
So is that what's brought this competitive nature out in you? Did you guys have good backyard struggles together and play games and do things like that?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. What's the games you guys play in the backyard?
Just kind of anything that we can find to entertain us.
Yeah. And so getting on the football field, what type of things are going through your head when you get the play call in the huddle and say it's a run play to you? When you get those legs pumping, are you trying to put the hurt down on somebody? Are you trying to be elusive? What is your goal once you get the ball in your hands?
Run hard and get yards.
Run hard and get yards. That's nice. I like it. Is that what you said? Get yards or 8 yards?
Get yards.
Get yards. All right. So you guys have a next game coming up, right? Silas, who do you play next? Do you know?
We play Meepo.
Meepo. Is that at home or is that – you want to hand that over, Bert?
It's in Meepo.
It's at Meepo, right?
Yep.
All right. So those guys are that's a bigger school.
Yeah.
They're up in 2A.
Yep.
But that doesn't intimidate anybody, does it, Ginger?
No.
Yeah. Are you going to go out and get a win?
Yeah.
We'll keep it just yes, no for you, just to keep things going. I'm giving you a hard time. So coaches, what do you see out of this program that's maybe different than what you've seen in previous years? You guys have been coaching together for quite a long time. Is there anything different? There's been consistencies, I know, amongst these teams that roll through, but what makes these two teams different than any others that maybe you've coached?
Honestly, with these two groups, they've really both got pretty good leadership. There's been years where we just don't have the leadership, but we've got some vocal kids in both the 7th and the 8th grade, and I think that really makes a difference in your teams. But I would say that's probably the difference for me is just the leadership of the kids.
The thing I notice most about both of these teams, we've got kids that they don't care where they play. They just want to be on the field. Be like, where do you want to play? I don't care. Put me on the field. And we've got, a couple kids on the 7th grade especially that are probably backs that are playing the line and don't have a problem with it, haven't complained. When they get to high school, they're probably going to be in the backfield. But that's the biggest thing I've seen here, where past years kids wanted their spot. And this year it's like they don't care. As long as they play and win, they don't care.
Yeah. So that's a good point too. And part of coaching, guys, is also not just managing the kids and the players. It's also about managing parents and parents' expectations. And Coach Hahn chuckles about that. Can you guys give, say, young coaches or the novice coaches like me, how do you guys handle those situations where you have kids that are backs, that are playing on the line, and they've carried the ball, gotten touchdowns in the past? What are some secrets you can share with maybe new coaches?
I guess I kind of refer that back to every year I have a parents' meeting, and I really think that helps because I kind of let everybody know what our expectations are and, the difference between the 5th and 6th tackle, the junior high of, where you're talking a controlled game and, now we're trying to put kids in positions that they're going to be hopefully maybe when they hit high school. Haven't really had a whole lot of issues with that, I guess. I mean, we talk to the kids throughout practice throughout the year of, just their size and we're also, we don't want anybody to get injured or hurt. And I wouldn't want to put a kid at tailback for Silas that's 60 pounds and have to be tackled by Devin. You look at that, but, we try to get the kids in wherever we can and go from there. And usually there's a big growth spurt from 7th to 8th, so it makes it a little bit easier. But for the most part, it's really not been an issue much. So,
all right. So we're going to do some rapid fire questions so we can keep this show moving. Jaden Jensen's into sports and all sports. What's your favorite sport?
Definitely basketball.
All right, basketball. Silas, what is your favorite song of all time?
Probably Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Yeah, Dreams and Nightmares. Good one. All right. Berkeley, who's the better competitor, your brother or your sister?
I'd have to say Carly.
Ooh, Graham's going to take offense to that one. I love it. All right. Devin, who is the better coach, Coach Hahn or Coach Sellers?
Oh, boy. Oh. Coach Sellers. Gotta give it to him.
All right, Coach Hahn, who is your favorite lineman?
Who's my favorite lineman? I hate to say it, but probably him.
Could have said Tristan Wirfs.
The only reason Devin said me is because we put a play in this week and he scored a touchdown. So
oh, yeah?
That's the only reason he said me, probably.
Let me guess. It's called Rhino.
Well, we really can't say the name of it. It's really not appropriate for social media.
Yeah. We're getting scouted on the Sunday morning show. I understand it. All right. And Coach Sellers, Cowboys or Niners?
Oh, geez. That's not even a question. Niners all the way.
All right. So we're going to do something new on Steve Shetler Media on the sports section. And we've had people dance, and we've had some other varieties, but we're going to sing, all right? All of us.
Here.
We're going to sing. And we're going to sing happy birthday to Coach Sellers, all right, because he's 35 years old, all right? So I'll kick it off, all right? Everybody
Andy,
come with me.
Andy, I'll hold my mic out for the rest of the
All right,
crowd.
everybody
to
in the
sing,
place
too.
is going to sing, all right? Here we go. Ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Coach Sellers. Happy birthday to you.
There we go. It's a family affair out here in Cobra Land, all right? Congratulations.
I was promised Toothy.
Toothy's not here. Toothy's here. Get up here.
Let's start it over. All right.
All right, hang on. Toothy might be showing up. Here it comes.
Happy birthday, Alan. Hope you have a fantastic day.
If you watch the morning show on Steve Shetler Media, we have a Toothy character from Oski Dental, so that's what that's all about. By the way, Andy,
thanks for the mic drop. How do I follow that?
You're in the midst of the OGs from the sports section. Yeah. Alan and Bruce were the original hosts of this show for what, like the first 6 months or so. So
I know.
Maybe if you ever need a break, you can sweet talk them into coming back for a week or two.
Yeah,
so.
No, it's, you never follow a crowd killer, and I keep just stumbling my way into the Barn Wired every Saturday morning, and these guys are both legends. They were legends before they started sports section, and they continue to be so anyway. But I couldn't be more proud to have my kids go through your guys' program and have you coach them, and I know these guys feel the same way. So congrats, guys, on a great start to your season. There's no doubt in my mind you guys got lots of wins ahead of you, so keep it rolling, and let's go get a state championship for Coach Jensen at some point in time. Can we do that?
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's take a commercial break, and we'll be back with that coach we're talking about, Coach Jensen, right after this. The mission of Essence of Life Hospice is to provide comprehensive, coordinated care to individuals with life-limiting illnesses and to their families, and to support them in the process of death and bereavement. Our goal is to provide palliative care that addresses the physical, psychological, and spiritual dimensions of service for the terminally ill as an integrated whole. We pride ourselves on providing the highest quality care and are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, visit essencehospice.com.
Keota Community School District, we are proud to lead with innovation, excellence, and the heart. With our student-teacher ratio low, our classrooms are built for connection, giving every student the attention they deserve. We continue with our 4-day school week for the 25-26 school year, creating more time for personalized learning, enrichment, and sport. And the results speak for themselves. In the 2024 ISAF scores, our students ranked number 1 in math and number 2 in English in our conference. That's academic achievement. That's community pride. That's Keota Schools.
Stam Garden Center. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
Complete Care of Iowa is a medical clinic located in Sigourney, Iowa that provides care to patients of all ages. Located at 113 East Marion Street in Sigourney. Call 641-541-4040. Complete Care of Iowa is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Tuesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday by appointment only. They're currently accepting new patients. Find more information at CompleteCareOfIowa.com. Complete Care of Iowa. Healthcare for where you are. Find your Iowa dream home with AE Realty in Montezuma. With unparalleled industry knowledge and local expertise, AE Realty is the Montezuma real estate expert you've been looking for. Whether you're buying or selling, AE Realty can help you get the best deal. You can find AE Realty at 321 East Main Street in Montezuma. Call 641-623-2639 or go to aerealtyinc.com. Hey, we are back with the sports section. We're live at Barnwired in downtown Sigourney. Stop in for some breakfast and coffee on this beautiful Saturday morning, and also be part of the rural road trip that'll be coming through today. It'll be a busy downtown here in downtown Sigourney. Let's take a look at our AE Realty area high school football results, brought to us by AE Realty in Montezuma, Iowa. On the scoreboard from last night, as you saw right here on Steve Shetler Media, Pekin trounced Van Buren County 52-8. Thursday night, Sigourney Keota took it to Louisa Muscatine 69-0. It was Montezuma coming up short against Southeast Warren. Southeast Warren won 46-28. Linville Sully beat North Mahaska 39-6. It was Newton over Oskaloosa 45-7. On page 2 of our scores, English Valleys really took it to Sydney last night, 60-8. It was Easton Valley over HLVTC, 54-8. Southeast Polk beaten up on Ottumwa, 70-6. Albia over Davis County, 50-8. And then EBF got the win over Cardinal, 53-12. So really not even remotely close games last night. Everything was a bit of a blowout. Let's take it back now to Andy McGuire for our final segment of the morning with SK coach Jared Jensen. Andy.
Coach, a short week, 3 days of prep time for Louisa Muscatine. You guys went over on Thursday night due to an official shortage situation and got a big win, 69-0 over Louisa Muscatine. Coach, everything was working on Thursday night. How much of that was a good amount of preparation, and how much was it a Louisa Muscatine that's just kind of on a down year, really?
Well, I mean, I think we took the week. You know, I didn't really know how to address it. You know, we had a JV game Monday, so obviously we couldn't have a full practice there. We took the older guys out and went through just some front stuff and alignment and assignment type stuff. But we kept Tuesday. I mean, that's our toughest practice of the week. Kept that the same. Kept Wednesday the same, and we just cut out that walkthrough day and went and played. So, you know, I think preparation-wise, you know, you lost the day, but not that going into a game without that extra day is not a good thing, but yeah, Louisa's down, and you know, I think our ability just to come in, you know, not have that day of kind of getting refreshed and just going to play was just fine. Their talent level was not great. You know, I think Coach Joe Donovan, this is his first year there. He's been at Pekin, he's been at Highland, been in a couple other places. You know, I think he's got some structure and some discipline, you know, within that program, but they got a long ways to go. So I don't necessarily think the preparation affected us, you know, a whole lot, losing a day, but their talent level just right now is not where it needs to be competitive.
Yeah, walking into the game, just looking down the line, you'd always look, you know, does it pass the eye test, does it not? Louisa Muscatine had some size. Yeah. They have good numbers. I mean, it seems like there's a really good foundation there for Coach Donovan to build on and keep moving forward. That's a tough situation to take over, right, Coach?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like they're you know, I kind of equate them to Eddyville maybe the last couple of years or Cardinal, where they're just really, really young. I mean, they had a handful of junior seniors and then a ton of sophomores and you know, freshmen in the mix there as well. So, you know, they're going to play us JV on Monday. So, I mean, they've got enough guys out. It's just, you know, what are those guys doing from the time football ends to the time football starts? Are they still working through a program of, you know, whether they're out for other sports, still training and lifting and things like that? I don't know necessarily that you know, is maybe going on. I'm sure Coach Donovan will get that fixed, but, you know, just a tough spot. But you know, he's been around the game long enough. He understands where they're at. You know, he understands that the wins may not be there. He's just trying to build that foundation, and that's all you can do with a program that's not where it needs to be competitive.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but, you know, coaches know X's and O's. That's the easy part of this thing. When you have a team, when you take a loss like a 69-0, Coach, what would you tell a team to keep them engaged and to keep moving forward? And how do you continue to have, those leadership moments and keep kids engaged? How do you do that as a coach?
Well, you got to find the plays within your game film that you did have success, and not focus on necessarily all the negative things that happen or the bad things that happen. And they did. They had some success against us. We just, anytime that seemed like they had a little success, we took that success right away. That the next play, but you find those things that you did do well, that you executed like you were supposed to, and look what happened, and build off that stuff. You can't just show them all the negative. They see all the negative on the film. They see the bad plays. They see all that. But getting them just to buy in and show them the positive things that did happen. And sometimes that might not be very much, but a positive's a positive, and the kids need to understand, hey, we did do this well. If now we just got to do this every single play. That'll build that character within the team. And leadership wise, I don't know. That comes down to the kids and how bought in they are. And Coach Donovan said, he told those guys, you have to be disciplined. Within trying to stop our offense. He's seen it before. He's coached against it before, and he understands that. And he said that there was no discipline. It was all eyeballs, looking where the ball was, rather than reading your keys and going to make plays. So, they do. They've got some talented kids. They've got some kids that I think would play on a lot of other programs. They just don't have 11 bodies out there at one time to really be able to compete.
Sure. So talking about positive and negatives, 69 points, that's a positive. There were some holes opened up, but there were some negatives. I saw it. I'm sure you saw it. What did you take away from that game that the Cobras need to work on to get ready for Iowa City Regina?
Well, I think still just execution, whether it's offense or defense. We're understanding blocking schemes a little better. Okay, we saw a front we actually worked on this week. That's the toughest thing within our offense. We don't know where guys are going to line up against us and what they're going to try to do. But we saw that this week. We worked on the 5 front this week. We still had some blocking mistakes. We were just good enough in that play that it didn't affect our ability. Now, you put a better team out there, we don't get that blocked the way it's supposed to be blocked. They're making plays, and there's I think the O-line is still just maybe a little unsure of themselves. We've moved some guys around, plugged some different pieces in some certain spots, so maybe I'll attribute a little bit of that to them maybe making some mistakes, but overall, I think the line has gotten better, which has showed the last couple of weeks. We've been able to put up some points, and defensively, we've kind of been that bend but don't break. They moved the ball, like Eddyville moved the ball on us the first quarter. Loiza moved the ball on us the first quarter. I truly just feel like what we practice in practice isn't the same look that they're giving us, and it's taken kind of that first quarter for our defense to really be in fine tune with, okay, this is what it looks like. This is how they're trying to block it, after that first quarter, it seems like things settle in and we kind of take control. But, special team wise, didn't really get to take a big look at anything because, we didn't punt. We got one kick return and that went out of bounds. We got a good look at our kickoff team, which I was impressed with. Did a really good job rallying down and going to make plays. Our kickers are doing a heck of a lot better job than they were earlier in the year, and things are kind of looking up there. But there's always some good, there's always some bad, and there are, we try to point all that stuff out on film so the guys, as they're watching it, they can see it and hopefully learn from it. And it's going to be a tough test this week.
Yeah, and maybe the same question that I asked Coach Weber earlier. I saw some different looks out of your offense, some of the different pieces that were moving around. Coach, with this group, is that a concern of yours that maybe you're showing something a little bit too early, or is it more about execution that we need to run it and we need to get clean with it in a game situation? What's your philosophy on it as far as maybe showing some of these different sets?
Well, I think kind of like Coach Weber said, I mean, it depends on the year. Honestly, we showed our eagle the first game. because we had to, because our double tight was just not effective at all. And, I think for us to be successful, our double tight single wing has to be successful. Then you can add all that other stuff in. And, after probably week 2, we went back to just straight up the basics, because we weren't even blocking our basic stuff, our most important plays, very well. So, the last 3 weeks, we've literally hit 18, 16, 12. On Tuesday, like hammered every which way you can run that. We're running those 3 plays. Come Wednesday, now we're looking at 19, 13, and 11. Any which way we can run those plays, because if we can't run those 6 plays, like we know it, like the back of our hand, like we're not going to be successful. And we've just had to kind of revert back to that. I would have loved to shown a lot more stuff earlier in the year. I think it gives more things for the other teams to have to prepare for and focus on. But there's no way I felt comfortable running a lot of that stuff, because we weren't doing very well running our basic stuff. And if we're not going to run our basic stuff well, we're not going to win ball games. And we saw that the first 3 weeks. But so I wanted to get a little bit of something for, Regina to have to prepare for, other than, okay, hey, here's their double tight. This is all we got to shut down. And, not that we gave them a very effective look. They'll probably, still just focus on our double tight, because it didn't look like we knew what the heck we were doing when we got into some other looks. Timing was off, all that stuff. But the reality is we haven't practiced that stuff for 3 weeks now, because we've been trying to do what we do really well, and it showed. So we probably need to get back into running some of that stuff, so we feel confident our timing's down and on point. And I thought the one time Molnix was going to get knocked out by his own teammate, because he came through there running pretty hard, and they just met on that mesh point and about knocked him back 3 yards before he finally got up in the hole.
That was an impressive play, Coach. That's one thing that I don't think the boys are afraid to hit. We know that Ike's not afraid to hit. We know Gil's not afraid to hit. So, that was a pad popper moment, and unfortunately it was self-inflicted friendly fire sort of deal. But that's okay, because that gives you something to look at, and that's a great point that you're making. If you're one-dimensional, if you have 3 plays that need to be defended, showing a little bit more gives a little more wrinkle for those guys to get at. Maybe it's a little bit better, So maybe those Regina scouts that are watching this session are going to have to think twice about it.
Twice. We got some other stuff coming to throw out.
These Regals dig deep.
Yep.
All right, Coach. So short week, game Thursday night. What did you guys do for Friday? Is that Friday practice going to be advantageous in getting prepped for what is probably the biggest game on the schedule? Oh, not probably. It absolutely is going to be the biggest game on the schedule that you guys have. So,
you know what? I mean, we kind of took Friday as, hey, let's get the guys in, let's get them out. I think that extra preparation day is more beneficial for us than it is for them as players. Coaching wise, with what Regina does, they do a lot of different things, like just having that extra day. Today, usually on Saturday, I'm only focused on our Friday night game, getting all those corrections done, all that stuff taken care of, and then Sunday I finally get to Regina or the next opponent. I was able to kind of get all that other stuff done yesterday, so now, okay, we got 2 days to prepare for Regina to really put together a game plan, and rather than really kind of just cramming it all in on a Sunday and hoping that, okay, if we need to make any changes, we make them by Monday before we meet with the kids. So, we got them in, broke them in groups, set them into lift. We did some wall ball stuff in the gym, some med ball tossing stuff, some band running type things, just to try to knock the soreness and stiffness out, and then get them into 2 days of, all right, hey, you got 2 days to recover, come back Monday, let's get this thing rolling, because we're going to need every day this week to put in and get to understand, what Regina really likes to do. And it's not that they do anything fancy. I mean, what I saw last night is they've got the same MO as they've always had. They're not going to beat themselves. They've got athletes and they're going to be well coached, okay? And they take advantage of anything you want to try to do. I mean, for example, I saw last night Durant, they walked about 6 guys up. Regina was already in spread looked to the sideline, moved the tailback over, boom, checked it to a tailback screen, goes for 40 and a touchdown. I mean, they just take advantage of everything you do, so you can't really tip your hat too early with them, or they're gonna change play on you right out there. And so it's gonna be a week where we're gonna have to be prepared, not for any fancy stuff, just for the basic stuff they do, but they do it so well. And they've got so many options to go to that that's going to be the tough spot. We're going to have all 11 bodies doing what they have to do every single play.
So talk to me about that rare occasion where you got to show up at Regina on a Friday night and do your own scouting. What do you roll in with? Are you with notepad and pencil, pen? Do you just make mental notes? This is what's going on. Do you rock the Cobra stuff? Here I am, Coach Jensen, or is it just kind of incognito and flying under the radar?
It's about the only thing I wore was this hat. I didn't take it. I mean, I just took some mental notes. We'll see their film today. I mean, I just wanted to get, film. It's always tough to tell, pace of play. Are they huddle? Are they no huddle? Because the film never really captures the huddle, and so just kind of seeing them live, seeing people in live, is the film doesn't do any justice rather than being there and seeing the guy, seeing the pads pop. So, hey, I just took mental notes, looked at a few things. There was a lot of talk about a player on their team getting kicked off the team, and everybody was so excited. And then I get there, and no, he was out there running the ball for him. And I don't know where that all came from, but we know they're going to be a talented team. And so my son was probably more. He had his Cobra sweatshirt on, and we got a few looks here and there. But I mean, we had a free night. I contemplated not just being at home, being with the family. I feel bad for Jay because he's a lot of times during football season he's at home because I'm too busy doing my coaching stuff, and so I'm like, hey, where you want to go to a game? And he said I'd like to go to a 5A game. So I'm like, well, all right. And he's like, said something like Southeast Polk, and I'm like, well, if we're gonna go to one, let's go to one in Iowa City. So he's like, all right. So I'm like, well, let's go to Regina first. We can go to, second half to go to, and we ended up going to City High because he's got some friends there. So, it was just a good night. It felt weird, felt different, but I don't think I'd lobby for playing a whole lot of Thursday night games, but it was a good experience. Gave the guys Friday off. Whether I know there was a big Sigourney Kyoto volleyball match last night. Hopefully some of the guys stayed for that. Other guys were talking about going to check out some other games as well, which I think is great. I mean, they don't ever get to go watch other friends that they have out there playing for other teams. So, they had that opportunity last night if they wanted to go.
Yeah. No, and I know the boys spent some time yesterday together. I know you had a linebacker that celebrated a birthday. Some boys went out for some lunch, and one of the things about the Sigourney Kyoto community is those boys went up to pay, and a certain grandma, I'm not going to say who it is, but a certain grandma was at the same restaurant coincidentally and picked up the tab for those boys. You know who you are, and I couldn't be more proud to have our kids go to a restaurant, and I'm assuming that they were gentlemen and took care of themselves well, but then had a nice reward celebrating as a team there. So
well, that's a testament to our communities. I mean, honestly, just kind of like Clint said, we're in a situation we're in right now just because of the communities in general. I mean, the people within the community, the parents, the grandparents, the people that have had players pass through are still supporters. It's not like that everywhere, and that's huge, and that's awesome for that grandparent to pick up the tab for those boys. And I think I say it all the time. We've got really, really good young men. I mean, a lot of I've been a few other places, and the feel was not like the feel is here. And again, that goes back to the parents raising their kids right, grandparents raising their grandkids right. People in the community just having the expectations they have, not just for these athletes or these players, just for individuals in general, whether you're up here at Barn Wired or over at the grocery store, just uptown doing whatever. There's expectations for you to be who you are and act right, and it's a great place to be.
Absolutely, and I don't want to get too philosophical on this. This is a sports show, but when you see things like, the Charlie Kirk deal, or, when you read politics, when you read social media, there's a lot of negative undertones to it. And when you have a community like that where a group of boys can go and get a meal and, grandma picks it up, that's a positive. Or, the Sigourney Keota communities, you have a Rihanna Utterback that can wrestle with anybody, boy or girl. And then you got a Berkeley Moore that comes on the show. She can play football with anybody, and it doesn't matter. If you can play the sport, you should be on the field, and if you can't, you shouldn't. And that's just the bottom line for it. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but this is the sort of positivity that I think we all need more of.
Yeah, I think America needs to see small town values. I think everything's gone haywire. And come to some small towns. You'll see the values that make America what America is, and I think the bigger city you get, the worse things are, and but there's just people need to see those small town values and never get rid of them. I mean, that's what's going to keep America afloat. If small town values go away, we're done.
Yeah. And to that end, Coach Sellers' birthday is today. You helped us celebrate that with him. Let's wrap up this segment with, why don't you tell me what Coach Sellers and Coach Hahn mean to this SK family?
They're kind of the backbone of this thing, man. Everything starts at the youth level, okay? And our youth coaches, all volunteer guys, new guys kind of every year. They kind of start that process. They pass them off to these guys, and these guys kind of get them to understand. I mean, they've mirrored kind of what we do and how we do it, whether that's running out on the field, the pregame meals, just making it something special. And I think kids want that. They want to gravitate towards things that are special. They have high expectations for those kids. They know our expectations for the kids, so they get them to understand that early. Those guys have helped. Coach Hahn helps me in track, has been a phenomenal. I'll call him a co-head coach here. I mean, he runs half the group. He runs the distance guys. Al's been involved with football, basketball. Both of them have coached basketball. I mean, they've just been involved in all these kids' lives through a multitude of things that. Whether it's the kids or the parents that maybe were coached by them, the grandparents that knew them, it's like one big family, and those guys have done a tremendous job with just getting the junior high kids to understand the importance of being a good person, being a good athlete, doing what it takes to be a good athlete, and then being good teammates and going and winning games. And it doesn't matter who you put on their schedule. It just seems like they're going one group, at least one group's going undefeated every single year. That's a testament of them getting kids just to buy into the success of, this is who we are, this is what we're going to do, and we're not going to take crap from anybody, and we're going to go win ball games. And they just set us up for success by getting those kids the generating that excitement through the game of football, and wanting them to continue it on, once they move to their freshman year. And we always get great numbers coming out of that eighth grade class, and I think that's strictly because of their importance, and understanding of what needs to be done, and how you get kids to buy into that.
Yeah. That's absolutely the case. Setting the SK standard and keeping it alive. Coach, 2-3 is feeling a lot better than 0-3, and we'll have the opportunity to take it to 3-3 on Friday night, and looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, these are the games Friday night. Why we played those first three. Talent-wise, I think PCM and Mid-Prairie probably talent-wise about where Regina's at. Wilton maybe a little bit lower, but this is why we play those games. We've played the teams that we're going to be playing for this game. It's a preparation thing. We've seen it. We've seen the physicality. We've seen the talent level. I think our physicality and talent level has closed that gap from early in the year, and now it's time. This is a district championship type game. Nothing to lose. No reason to hold back anything. We're going for blood, and we're going to win this ball game.
All right, we're rooting for you, Coach.
Thank you. Go Cobras.
Thanks, Coach Jensen, and we'll take a commercial break, wrap it up after this.
Early fall days can be pretty warm, and a well-chilled white fruity wine might be very welcome, especially if you're sitting outside. Tassel Ridge, Iowa Edelweiss is an award-winning popular wine that can be sipped or paired with spicy foods. Candle Glow White is a drier alternative that will pair with grilled fish or chicken. And if you're looking for a fizzy wine to celebrate a win by your favorite football team, try our Oski Fazzotti Pink, a fizzy sweet pink wine. Tassel Ridge wines are available at more than 300 retail outlets, and all are available at Tassel Ridge Winery in Leiden.
Keokuk County Medical Clinic is your one-stop shop for healthcare. Our behavioral health providers offer a wide range of services to help you reach your goals. We have a variety of family practice providers who see patients of all ages for acute and chronic care. Jack's Corner Drug is located just down the hall for your convenience. Call 641-622-1170 to reach the clinic or 641-622-3184 to reach Jack's Corner Drug.
At Lifetime Dental, we know a strong, healthy smile starts early. That's why we love seeing our little patients early in life to create positive experiences and healthy habits that will last a lifetime. With advanced training in pediatric growth and development, as well as orthodontics, we have the knowledge and expertise to help your growing child thrive. We have a simple goal: healthy children, healthy teeth, beautiful smiles to last a lifetime.
All right, we are back here for our last segment here on the sports section here at Barnwired in downtown Sigourney. We thank Barnwired for being our host, and things are picking up here at Barnwired Rural Road Trip, and it's getting busy here. We're going to wrap it up here quick. Let's first take a look at our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinic's Male Athlete of the Week for this past week, as voted on the Steve Shetler Media Facebook page. Garrett Pumphrey from EBF Cross Country was voted our Male Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to Garrett. And then we go to Pekin for our Kelly Style State Farm Female Athlete of the Week. Paisley Coleman of Pekin Volleyball. Congratulations to Paley. And then her whole team. Pekin Volleyball was voted the Emma Ratliff American Family Insurance Team of the Week. So we will have this Pekin Volleyball team on, at least some of them, next week here on the sports section live from Barnwired in Sigourney. Andy, we got Iowa, Indiana today. Comes up at 2:30 with the kickoff. What do you think? Who you going with?
I'm going to go with the Hawkeyes. I'm a homer. I'll openly admit it. Most people are going to say the Hawks are going to lose this one after what Indiana did to Illinois last week. I get it. But, magical things happen at Kinnick.
Yeah.
I'm taking my daughter to her first Kinnick
Nice.
Stadium experience today. Yeah. And I think some magic's going to flow. Tenley's going to bring in that good Hawkeye blood love. And I think they're going to get it done. It's going to be a tight one. But I think Hawkeyes win this thing, 28-24. We'll give it that.
You wouldn't think that Indiana would be able to maintain what they did last week for 2 weeks in a row, especially at Kinnick Stadium. So, yeah, as always, you got to pick Iowa in like a 3-point game, one way or the other.
Right, yeah, you absolutely do. There are people talking that this is maybe a trap game for Indiana.
Yeah.
Could be, but you're right. I mean, that was a lot of energy on that Illinois game.
Yeah.
And what Iowa can do defensively to give fits, the energy is going to be absolutely through the roof in Kinnick today. And Gronowski's just taking steps week in and week out. And receivers are getting it. They're settling in. I hope I'm not sorely disappointed, but, we'll see.
Well, go Hawks. Have fun at the game, Andy. And, again, next week we'll once again have Pekin football in. We'll have Pekin volleyball in. Maybe we'll get a fourth segment in. We'll have SK's Jared Jensen as always, and maybe we'll squeeze in somebody else as well. So there's so many area teams we want to get in on this show. So we'll do what we can. Andy, have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week.
Thank you.
And we thank Barnwired for being our host venue here for the sports section.